and I were both running out of time. We got busy lives, so I'm going to make this quick for you. I've got 3 organizational tips for everyone watching behind that camera lens or behind the computer screen to organize your backpack. So you can get all that educational knowledge straight to your brain. Because that's why we all go to school. Who am I kidding? It's drugs. Tip number uno, as they say in French, labeling. Labeling, you could use the fancy little name tags, but that's just going to waste time because you have to riffle through them like a deck of cards and, you know. Ain't nobody got time for that. So here's a way that as soon as you unzip your backpack, you'll be able to tell which notebook is perfect for that class. Let's get started. Alright, going right in. So let's say you're running a little late for class and they're already starting to do your notes. So perfect and quick way to label your book, so you can pull it out as fast as you can, is that you pick up the side where you normally see the book first. As soon as you unzip the bag, like you can see all the sheets kind of lined up together. And then you just clamp it down as hard as you can with your hands and just write down the subject with some kind of permanent marker. I'm using a fine point Sharpie in this situation to make it much more neater, well, as neat as I can get. And you just start writing chemistry down, and once you're all done, I've done this a little bit beforehand, you should get a result similar to mine. Now, hey, this is nice and quick and should get you up and running as soon as possible. Okay, binders over folders any day of the week. Let's say you've got 2 different classes right next to each other, first hour and second hour, math and US history. Okay, so I'm just picking these on purpose. Completely different workloads in both classes. In math, you've got so many worksheets, and US history, it's a blow-off class. You've got like 2 papers the whole semester, and if you use folders for both of them, the one with your math one is going to be so expanded it practically turns into a math textbook itself, and then the one with US history is basically new. So unless you want to use something that's more bloated than a truck driver's underwear, you can't use the one that the folder that you use for math over next year. But with a binder, the great thing is that if you do have 2 classes right next to each other, the papers will just lie on top of each other. It's just one big folder. So you have space for all of your classes no matter how much workload they have. Okay, the final tip, let's see if I can do this all before my camera dies. They call it a poly-fat book, but I prefer calling it an assignment notebook for self-esteem purposes. Anything that you can get your hands onto, so where you can just write down all your assignments. Now, I used to do this thing back in 7th grade where I would just write all my homework on the worksheets that my teacher gave me, and I put them into a folder, but that would never work because I do all the worksheets, but then the studying I would so forget for that test next Tuesday. But an assignment notebook is your best memory guide. Just write down everything you have at the end of each class, or at lunch or homeroom, or whenever you have some extra time, and bam, when you go home, every single thing you have to do today, school related at least, is right there. And hey, if you're in clubs, I like to do a bunch of clubs where you gotta do different fundraisers, different activities. You can all write them down in here, and this is basically your in-school cheat guide. You know those things back in like the Wii days where you could like cheat your way out of Wii Fit so you could tell your mom that you burnt all those calories, but you really didn't. What the hell? Sad stories. But anyway, this assignment notebook saves lives. Write in the assignment notebook and just thank me later. So these 3 tips are the most useful things that I can give you. Binders over folders, the cool labeling method that I showed you, and of course your assignment notebook. Always have these 3 things on hand and your school year will become almost 10 times easier. I can't get you out of English class. Disappointed! But I mean, not all dreams come true. I hope these things work for you. Comment down below any things that you like to use in your school year that really help you. And hey, this has been Nikhil, Samayam. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.